When me and my husband first found out that we were expecting a baby, we were overjoyed. We couldn't stop talking about not being able to wait for, the first smile, the first steps, the first words, I love you. Christopher was born, and we never thought that there was anything wrong until a short couple weeks later when we went to the doctors and the doctor noticed that something wasn't right. That's when everything began. All the worries and all the things we've ever talked about in dreams started feeling like they were not going to be. We finally got the diagnosis that Christopher was autistic. Well, that day wasn't a very good day for us, and our emotions just took over, and we were so scared and didn't know what the future would hold anymore, and didn't know what were the first steps to take. We then went to get Christopher assessed by a psychologist, and she suggested that Christopher be put into some type of center with some intense therapy. We found out about Shining Through, and we went in to see the center. When that day came, I felt like this was going to be a new start to Christopher's future.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and my son Campbell is at the Shining Through Center. He's 6.5, and he's a twin. I was very excited to find out that I was going to have 2 boys, because I just had this picture of this crazy house full of boys doing crazy things, and I was a little sad there wasn't going to be a girl, but it was a wonderful thing to imagine them growing up together and sharing the same interest, and going road trips together and that sort of thing. So I really had this exciting vision right away of the 3 Wilkin boys and how they would take care of each other. We were lucky because having a twin made it really easy to see early in their lives that there was a difference between Campbell and Tavish, and the way they were developing. Went to a speech pathologist, and she said, "Oh, he's fine. Nothing's wrong." And then she said something that changed everything for me. She said, "He's fine. He doesn't have autism." And that was the first time that Campbell his name had never been attached to the word, and it was a shocking moment for me because it just resonated. The idea resonated, and so we took him for more assessments. I wanted the person to say, "You're crazy. You're a helicopter parent. Don't be so overbearing with your kids." And but we were right, and and as he got older, it became more evident that he wasn't going to have the same language that Tavi was developing. I thought, if he can never talk, and if he never wants to be with us, then how does that work? I couldn't figure out the future, because how do we go to Disneyland? How do we play board games on Sunday night? How does he be a part of what we do? How does a child who doesn't really seem to want to be with the family, is turned away from us, how does that work in this sort of magical picture I had of these 3 boys growing up together? John and I we're always trying to protect each other from being sad in front of each other, so it would be sort of a secret if you could have a cry in the shower or something, but we kept it to ourselves. That first year is hard. Anyone who's had a diagnosis knows that the first year is the hardest, because you're so sad all the time. At 3.5, he still wasn't talking, despite all this energy, and we were starting to feel desperate because there just wasn't enough progress. And that is when I found the Shining Through website.
My name is Shiri Bartman. I'm the clinical director here at Shining Through Center, and my responsibility is to make sure that the kids' programs are all going well and that we are meeting their needs. For Shining Through Center, our primary focus is to develop the skills necessary for our kids to reach their full potential. I first fell in love with behavior analysis and autism when I met little Freddie Santini, and he kind of taught me the power of this type of therapy that we do every day with the kids. As I met him, he was starting to do amazing things and starting to talk and develop all of these incredible skills because of this intervention. I moved with him to Shining Through, and along the way I've developed more and more skills and have continued to be part of Shining Through in many different capacities.
Hi, my name is Tabitha. I'm an instructor therapist at the Woodbridge location of Shining Through. It's been an incredible experience so far. Just the day-to-day here is amazing. The things that you see these kids learn and do each day just makes it worthwhile to come in and be able to see the development firsthand and be a part of that with such an incredible team and such an incredible group of kids has just been such an amazing experience.
One day to the next is never quite the same, but you know, the kids get here in the morning, we work on different kind of life skills with them, play with them, make them have a lot of fun here. On top of that, we're also teaching them all kinds of different skills that can help them function better in their environment, depending on what their goals are. Some kids were trying to get ready for school, some kids were trying to get ready for different kinds of employment they might have in the future. And we're just really trying to help them be more independent and lead richer lives.
A lot of academic programs with some of the kids, like reading, writing, spelling, just to help them whether they're going into school, into some sort of inclusion program or a future employment of some sort.
Throughout the day, we work on a lot of skills, primarily language-based skills, but also routines throughout the day that will help our kids be successful at school and in life. And so we work on grooming, we teach kids to brush their teeth, wash their hands, wash their face, which we can take for granted as easy skills to learn, but they take a lot of time for some of our kids to acquire. So we practice many times so that they can be independent.
Reinforcers could be used aside from just when playing games and in the gym and with pairing programs, when doing educational activities like writing and math. You also can use their favorite, whether it's a cookie or watching videos on the computer. All these could be used to encourage the kids to continue doing their work and to learn, and they're motivated.
The staff are so dedicated to these kids and what we do every day that it sounds cliche, but it makes coming to work an absolute pleasure to be a part of this team and to be able to do what we do and see changes and development and growth is not something that a lot of people get to experience with children, and it's incredible.
You know, while it can be frustrating sometimes, at the end of the day, you know that your purpose here is to help people. It's not a regular office job where you have a bottom line and it's money this and money that. You know, you're really trying to make a difference in someone's life, and you can really feel good about that.
It's awesome to see the kids improve and know that you are responsible for teaching these kids and seeing the improvements that they make every day. And like Isaac said, it could be frustrating at times. Overall, it's awesome to see the kids are here, they're having an amazing time, and they're learning. And this is an environment where they're capable of learning and doing a great job and really progressing, and it's awesome to see.
One of the challenges that our families face, obviously, is the financial burden of interventions such as ours. When I tour families and I show them the center and what we do and the quality of care and the intervention, they're always pleased and excited, and they want to come here. And then I have to tell them how much it costs, and it's devastating to see because most families without some assistance and help can't afford to send their kids to a place like ours. So it's devastating to have to tell them that yes, this place would be wonderful for your child, but you may not be able to afford it. So that's where we really need the support to be able to help the families who may not be able to do this on their own.
When we were introduced to Shining Through and we were so excited of the idea of Christopher coming, we couldn't help but to wonder how will we afford to send Christopher there. But thanks to friends and family, we had such support that we were able to do this, and we are so fortunate for it. And seeing Christopher come home with a smile on his face, thanks to Shining Through, we couldn't have made a better decision, and it is worth every penny. I'm sure other families of Shining Through can agree with me that we are fortunate for this center and have that feeling that we know we're doing the best thing for our children.
The work that they've done here, the hard work they've done with him, you know, helping him connect to other people, making him understand that people are good. You know, you go to somebody, they're going to help you and they're going to get you what you need and they're going to have fun with you. And so much has changed in those years that it's like he is a completely different child. And his role in our family is so, he's the center of our family because of his personality. It has nothing to do with autism. He's such a loving, joyful child that he brings out the best in everybody. And you know, his brothers can't wait to see him after school, and they always want to play with him and they always want to do things that he likes to do.
Christopher is 9 years old and does not say any words yet, but he does communicate through a device that if it wasn't for Shining Through, who gave him that intense therapy and every day teaching him to communicate through that device, Christopher would not be able to communicate with his brother and his sister and family and friends. And Christopher is such a social boy. He wants to communicate, he wants to socialize, and those were things that he could not do before he started Shining Through. He would get excited about an idea of playing with other kids, but when that time came, he didn't know what to do, and then that's when he would get so frustrated and walk away. And as a mother, that's when or as parents, that's when it really was hard for us. Instead of being so scared of the word autism, we're actually able to embrace the word thanks to Shining Through, because we know that he's getting all the best therapy that he needs. And in the morning when our family's rushing out the door to go to work or go to school, we know that Christopher is going to Shining Through, and he's just a step closer to learning something new to get him through the world.